Hello and welcome. Welcome to our AnanDao webinar. So to begin, I hope you managed all the technicalities to get to the webinar. So I'll send a warm welcome to Greece, Luxembourg and Israel. Great that you could make it. Thanks very much for joining us. I hope you can see and hear. And during the session, later on, you will have the possibility to raise questions and so on. So great that you are here. My name is Ralph, and I'm joined today from my wife and co-founder of AnanDao, Noah, and talking about the business burnout solution today.
Hello everybody, welcome. We are very happy you could join us. Why are you here? Actually you are here because modern business life is very demanding. Our subject for today is the 3 tools you need to gain mental clarity and restore a state of more energy without any help of medications.
What we're trying to show you today is how to eliminate overwhelm, get rid of the overflow of thoughts which you can't stop, which are bothering your sleep, and so on and so forth.
So, I already said that you are here today because modern business life has become very demanding. The competition is very strong. To-do lists are getting very, very long. Very often we have to do many things at the same time. And honestly, we are hunted by communication from the moment we wake up in the morning. So many of us feel often overwhelmed and very exhausted all the time. Some of us feel that our performance is slipping, having hard time to sleep, to concentrate, to make decisions. We're getting reports of people which are forgetting meetings. Keeping deadlines is becoming difficult, and many people are complaining about physical problems and seriously are afraid to lose their job or get really sick. So this is why you are here, and we believe we can help. So before we start, maybe we can give you a little bit of background about us. Ralph has more than 30 years experience in martial arts. He is an expert for Qigong, Tai Chi and Kung Fu. And I am more the Indian department in our relationship. My field of expertise is yoga and Ayurveda, Indian medicine. And since 10 years, we are teaching and practicing very intensively together. We are traveling in the world, giving workshops, retreats, teaching in big festivals. And our strongest experience is actually our teacher training, because there we really get to interact and exchange a lot of information. And through this exchange over the years, we have developed a new system where we are using movement, breathing, and concentration exercises for natural healing. Now, this system we call AnanDao, and it is specifically designed for business people which have no time and working very hard. And half a year ago, around this subject, we issued a new DVD which we call Life Balance Workout, and is now available in Amazon.
So for the last 10 years, we experience a particular set of people which are approaching us for help. And it seems like that specifically hard-working business people, probably like you, are seeking our help. And one of the results of this experience, of this working of the last 10 years, is this program which we're talking about today. We ourselves, we worked more than 16 years in the consulting and high-tech industry, so we know what is a demanding lifestyle, We have been probably where you are right now, and we have experienced what it does to a personal life, to a health, but we found natural solutions, very strong tools which helped us tremendously in the past, and we want to share it with you. We know that it works. Now the Shape magazine endorsed our system very nicely, beautifully brought it to the point saying that our system mobilizes strengths and helps you instantly to relax and to get new energy. Now, if you listen to my personal story, so on the left-hand side, basically is a picture of my 16 years of international consultant, and internationally being basically traveling a lot, 2, 3, 4 times a week, flying from one place to the other, running a consulting company. So you can imagine projects, customers, employees, a lot of pressure, a lot of demanding processes to take care of. This took its toll on me and on my health. So somewhere along the line, I suffered a heavy hearing loss and a tinnitus, which is basically a very bad thing, especially if you work with a lot of people, because first of all, I had some problems hearing, which means I could actually not do my job properly. And secondly, especially when it comes to resting, what happens is that the sound in your ear, the ringing in your ear, gets tremendous, which means you can't get a restful sleep. And therefore, you drain your energy constantly. Now, after consulting several Western medicine doctors, which didn't provide me with effective solutions, mainly medication, which I tried, didn't work. And somewhere along the line, I remembered my old love, my martial arts, and decided, basically in a matter of days, to travel to China, to a very secretive place, very knowledgeable place about Taoistic martial arts, deep inner processes, which I learned over a period of 6 weeks. And basically what I found is extremely effective solutions if you are ready to pinpoint and to go a certain way, which helped me tremendously. And out of this extreme surprise on the one hand and the pleasantry on the other hand to find healing, I've decided that I want to help more people with this kind of knowledge and show the West, show people which are keen and interested how health can be regained. Now, out of the last 10 years, our mission statement is basically to empower leaders, empower people which are taking decisions on a daily basis, which are of great importance for themselves, for other people working with them. And I want to give you a small example before we go on the second part. In Germany, there is a business process which basically makes people catching shrimps in the Northern Sea. They, on the boat, on the ship, will be defroosted, will be carried down to Morocco, and in Morocco there is a factory, especially for this job, which is running constantly on the minus 20 degrees. So there are local people, local American women, which for little labor, for little payment and a lot of labor, peeling the shrimps and eventually send them back to Germany to bring them to the market. Now this is one of the business processes which to us they sound insane. And yes, maybe from a money point of view, it can be done, there can be a benefit, but we think from a business point of view, there should be more than that. So therefore, We believe that bringing you guys into the right place, in the right health, in a natural way, that will give you the support to make better decisions and influence our world of tomorrow in a better day. Why people come to us? Now, we have helped dozens of people in the past to get their health back. And one of our key issues, key success factors we learned is that our programs are tailored, personalized, specific. About the tools I talked already. So we provide effective solutions. Sometimes it's so simple and the effect can be so rich for physical and mental issues. So it turned out that we helped a lot of business professionals and leaders to be back at the top of their game. So what we'll want to cover today is how you easily restore a silent, calm mind and physical fitness. We believe these are two things which you cannot separate. We will show you how this powerful program helps you instantly to get into the energy. And getting into the energy, what I mean is nothing talkative, nothing theoretically. It's something when you get up in the morning, you feel strong, you feel energetic, you feel ready to tackle your day. Besides that, we'll show you how to regain your efficiency and be at the top of your abilities. We'll also show you why this approach is perfect for busy business people and why you should be 100% ready right now to get focused and to take action. Now it will be worthwhile to stay until the end, because at the end you'll be able to raise questions. We have a short time for question and answers, and we will show you how to get in touch with us privately, so you can raise any personal issue which you might have with us.
So what we have experienced for many years is that people can go on forever feeling exhausted and have all sorts of a hard time to concentrate, or they have pain physically, but they are not doing anything. They just continue to put the needs of the job and of everybody else before their own. And really only when something bad is happening, they get sick, they are fired, or they just cannot work anymore, they decide, okay, now it's time to take action. However, this might be too late. It's really a step behind. And it is known that most health problems are starting very small, which means, for example, somebody which has a life where he is all the time traveling and he's eating on flights and in restaurants. He sometimes doesn't have time to eat. He's losing control about the food. So he puts 1-2 kgs on. In 3 to 4 years, he's already having 10 kgs too much. And it ends up with him feeling bad. So he goes to the doctor, he checks himself out, he finds out he has diabetes or high cholesterol, and he is in a risk to get a heart attack. So this is exactly the place where nobody wants to get. And people also do not want to take medications because they know and aware about the side effects. And also most people today know that medication is not the solution. It doesn't solve the problem. It just gives a short release. If you have back pain, for example, so you took medication, it helped you today, in maximum 3 days, you have the back pain again. So don't suffer from the side effects and decide for a natural solution is something a lot of people are looking for today. Now, acting now is a very, very important issue, because the truth is that if you will not act now, somehow it will end up in a disaster of some sort, either with your health or with your career or with your family.
Now we believe a much better approach is first of all what you see in the center, to take action at a certain point in time. Maybe you are already there. The good news is it actually takes little of your time. It has no side effects, as we emphasized already. We're working only in natural ways. What makes it extremely accessible and easy to follow is most of our program is online, which means basically it's whenever and wherever at the tip of your fingertips. Key success factor, it is personalized, it is tailored, it is customized to your personal needs. No general recommendation, specifics. Now, what most people do wrong is, in a way, thinking it's all temporary. Any kind of problem which might come up, we have the habit to put things into short perspective. It's not now, next week it will be better. And at the same time, we keep on pushing in all life areas. And when I mean life areas, I mean in business and surprisingly also in private. I've known so many people which not only pushing in business, in private times where they should relax and have a good time, basically they start competitive sports like Ironmans and marathons and pumping weights. So many times they find themselves competing from the morning till the evening. However, as Noah indicated already before, many times it's the small things, the things which we do like on a daily basis, like every day, the wrong kind of habits which are sliding into our life. Over and above that, of course, we are kind of people which don't set priorities or boundaries. We love our job and most of the time we put the maximum ahead and rarely watch it ourselves what's going to happen with health, with our performance. Unfortunately, just waiting and hoping it will get better is not going to do the job. Stress will not reduce. You know that, we know that. Often, of course, there is the hope of the next holiday will bring you back in shape. But you and I know that the first 3 days you arrive and you might catch the flu, the cough, or something like this, which means that takes already some time. And the rest of the holiday, you just need to either recover from this flu or just get a little bit in balance with family, with friends. And you realize the moment you are back home, a few days later, you ask yourself, what holiday was it? Now imagine you will be back at the right of the top of your game. Envision yourself that you have a restful sleep, that you wake up in the morning, you feel energetic, you feel strong. And over and above that, you begin to look at your work in a more creative, in a more inspiring way. Inspiring for yourself and the people you're working with. And by the end of the story, you should manage to even have time for kids and family. Now, for this program, we call it Business Burnout Solution. And our proven process provides you the tools which you need to get clear, to get fit. It creates these exercises, creating the inner strength, the motivation and the tranquility. And it gives you instantly a quiet mind and more energy. Now, we provided for this session, for the 3 tools, we put them some examples to have a better understanding what was done and what was the result. Now, tool one we wanted to have a look at is restore and sustain clarity and fitness. Now, as we all know, taking action often is problematic, it's inconvenient, you need some kind of trigger point. And the problem with that is you need the regular activity to quiet the mind and to get fit. It's the regularity which gives us the problem. On the other hand, many times we don't feel the consequences yet, at least not so severe yet. Maybe it's on the way. And at least as I can say for us men, we don't really like to talk about it. We don't want to tell anybody. So it goes on, it goes its way. Now we have personalized tools to sustain clarity and fitness, fast methods, which means a specific tool, for example, what we call Inner Smile, which within 8 to 10 minutes puts you exactly in the place you want to be, quiet, relaxed, clear. We provide you with a personal physical training program. You'll find that looking for in the Chinese medicine, you'll realize very fast that even the standard types are already 5 very different kind of persons, which means for every one of them, different kind of physical training or physical exercises has to be applied to be successful and to get the liking. What many Western practices do, you don't learn to loosen up. Now, loosen up is, again, a key factor because when you are in stress, when you are pushed, when you are on the run, your body stiffens, your breathing is getting low. So what you need to do to learn exercises, how to relax the body, let it flow again, be soft and flowing. Developing mental and physical strength gives you the ability to run with these strengths for a long period of time. So we come up with a program that fits your busy daily routine, which is another very important point because mainly we don't have time. So therefore we give very specific answer to your daily routine.
So we wanted to tell you the story of Paul, one of our clients, which is actually working with us worked with us more than 6 years in the meantime. And his situation was when he arrived to us, it was that he was complaining that he is sitting all day and he's sitting in front of the computer all day. He felt because of it very stiff, very tense, and he could not relax, he couldn't concentrate, and one of his main complaints was that he absolutely could not sleep and could not stop thinking. And through all these situations, which took quite a few years with him to pile up, he got to quite a severe physical situation. He had 13 kgs too much. He had a high cholesterol with a risk for a heart attack. His liver values were for 15 years very bad, and he went to many doctors. He did everything they said. He took medications. He changed his nutrition 3 times, and nothing really helped him. So then he started to feel even more stiff because arthritis began to develop in his body. And this is where he decided, okay, he cannot work with medicine anymore and he is looking for something else. And he found us. So what we did to help him is that we started with introducing him to a specific regular training. And we made sure we motivate him, and he made sure he's training regularly, which means really 4 to 5 times a week. He was in this very good. And we used with him a lot of Tai Chi and a technique we call heaven and earth, because this was helping exactly on the one hand to loosen up and relax, and on the other hand, it is really a very, very strong physical training. So it helps you to get fit and collect energy. And the Tai Chi movements, because they are so complex and one is doing mostly with every arm something else, with the legs again to a different direction, you need so much to concentrate when you train that it really helped him to let go of all thoughts and be there in the moment. And he said it was very, very, very strong experience for him. Another key issue is to really regularly quiet the mind. Now, we offer several ways to do that, and each customer has to choose his favorite way. And he, because he is a musician, he chose a technique out of the yoga using sound to lead all senses inside. And he did it also regularly, almost every day. He said he was even doing it in the office, closing the door, closing the eyes, and just using the sounds for himself. And we also use techniques, yoga asanas. These are positions out of the yoga to help him to stretch and open the body so he could physically really, really let go and relax.
Now, looking at his results, he lost 8 kg in 3 months, which, considering his height, 168, is quite tremendous, I would say, and it enabled him to get really into the movement. And out of his Tai Chi practice, he learned how to loosen up, how to let go, that the stiffness and the hardness of the body got flexible and got him relaxed. Now his liver values, and this was really outstanding, and cholesterol went down to a very normal level, which hasn't been achieved in 15 years, as Noah already pointed out. His arthritis was completely gone, and the nice thing for him, of course, after 6 months, he was awarded an international incentive travel to one of his business fairs, which of course made him very happy, very enjoyable.
So our second tool is helping create inner strength, motivation, and tranquility. And the problem around this issue is that people think that the problem is time. They say, I hear so often people saying something like, oh, there is not enough time, or oh, I wish there would be more time. Now, time is something which you cannot buy and you cannot change. You can only change the way you manage it. And what is to understand is that it's not one problem. There are all sorts of factors which are influencing a person, and these factors has to be analyzed and looked at. So what people also do is that they tend to put the needs of all other people in front of their own, thinking, oh, I will come to it then and then, but then and then is never coming. And as I mentioned in the beginning, we are hunted by communication all day long. And who said that we really have to be so available all the time, everywhere? So what do we need to do in order to create inner strength and tranquility? You need to get crystal clear about what are the factors which are influencing you in a bad way. And the way to do that is, first of all, to change the perspective and realize that you actually need to set priorities and boundaries. And then you have to look at it and see what are your specific boundaries and priorities, because it is not so obvious like one thing. And one really needs to learn how to clear negative thoughts and emotions and not to bring ourselves down all the time.
Now, The client we wanted to talk about in this specific issue is Iris. She's an architect, and her situation sounds very familiar to all of us, I believe. Exhausted, bad sleep. Bad sleep means very low energy, can't stop thinking, wants to please everybody. She feels pressured and not appreciated, which means if you look at the whole picture, a lot of mental issues, a lot of perspective missing, and a lot of negative energy, which we realized is there. Now, how did we help her? We trained her how to transform heavy thoughts and feelings to a positive imprint. And when I say that, to confirm or to transform heavy thoughts and negative thoughts, so there are very specific issues, tools, which you can use. What we find very successful in her case is what we call the cleaning of organs. And basically, it's a technique which helps you to basically clean the negative emotion and replace it with a positive emotion. Now, we in the West are very used to the idea in the meantime that you almost shower every day, which means outside cleanliness seems to be very, very normal. However, in our culture, we have very little attention to what's going on inside. So cleaning the organs is in a lot of processes, Taoistic processes, yoga processes, one of the key factors to release the body. So out of this cleansing, she got a completely different point of view. She began to value herself. And to value herself, what we selected as a key exercise for her is something we call flowering of the heart. Now, in the Taoistic belief, when you strengthen the heart, you begin with a higher relation to yourself. And being a higher relation to yourself basically gives you a higher appreciation. And with this higher appreciation, as a result, she started to accept herself, learn to say no, and set her priorities. Now, helping her in this area, she also likes very much Tai Chi. And in the Tai Chi, there is a very specific exercise, it's called pushing hands. And pushing hands basically is a very nice exercise to manifest your boundaries in contrary to the boundaries of the opponent. So that helped her quite a lot.
So what were her results? I see here we wrote sleeping God. So actually it fits because she was heavenly sleeping. She had a very, very good sleep, and she said she really was feeling recovered in the morning. She was calm during the day, and she felt like she's so focused that things are getting done much more easily. And she really got inspired to start a new project, and she took a break of 6 months and she traveled around America with her husband.
Which before she couldn't even begin to imagine that she could have any kind of break at her work.
So what our training did for her was just help her to change her point of view and the way she feels about things. She understood where and what she needs to change. When you know what is wrong, you can fix it. And the key is really this analysis which we are doing to see what are your habits and how can you change it, what can we do for you to feel better.
Now this brings us to our last tool, how to have more energy. And again, I want to emphasize, it's something you can really feel. You feel, especially in the morning when you get up, you should feel energetic, you should feel ready to tackle the day, and you should feel it during the whole day. Now, Just a small remark on this one. Now, talking about energy, I think it's a really good example if you think about it as batteries. Batteries which are stored like in your body, which means basically they can be drained and they can be reloaded. But most people don't think or don't even know about what actually does this process of reloading. Now, if you look at the left-hand side, you see in priorities from the top to the bottom going down. Top priority, of course, is air and water. Without them, very little can be done. And then already on third position is food, which means a high quality of food, good timing of food, the right food for your type is essential. Over and above that, you need a good sleep, and all of this put you in a position to focus on life on the right hand side, which means right hand side life is using energy, which is perfect, no problem with that. And after a day's hard working, you're coming back and recover with the sleeping. Now, over and above that, there are special exercises which one can do. They're really not very difficult and very, very effective to collect and to store more energy. We keep on spending and we think little about can we reload, should we reload, what are the ways?
So it's really all about habits. It's about these things which we are doing every day. It can be really very little things. So what we do with you, first of all, is that we analyze the habits. It's something you can also do yourself and try to identify, okay, what are these things which are problematic, which are creating the issue. You need to learn how to charge your batteries, and you need to get really clear about which foods are good for you and how to choose them. Because food is really specifically a tricky thing, because every person is really different, has a different type, needs completely different things. And usually this general recommendation which one is getting if one goes to like the normal kind of nutrition from the the doctor is really very limited. And don't underestimate the impact of food, because the impact of food is not only about the weight or about the body, although all of us want to look really, really good. It is also affecting our shape, our fitness, and it really is also affecting our mind. It affects our mood, it affects the quality of our sleep, it affects the quality of our thoughts, it affects our digestion, and with it, it affects the amount of toxic we have in the body. Where are they going? Sometimes they're going to the joints, then they are creating all sorts of problems in the joints. So it's really, food is really something important, although we think, it's just food. It's just, there's this sentence, one eats for hunger or one eats for fun. So it has to be in the middle. Eating healthy can be also fun, and it can be also tasty. And one key issue of what we're doing also is that during the whole program, whatever we teach you, whatever we show you, we make sure to coach you how can you integrate it in your daily routine, in your daily life. So our next client is Robert, and he is also an IT manager. They seem to really suffer a lot. And he actually worked for a health insurance company, but still didn't manage to find the help at the doctor. He was traveling really, really a lot, and he was eating on flights, he was eating constantly in the cantina, in restaurants, he was skipping meals, and he stopped exercising because he didn't have time, although he really used to like exercising, but he just couldn't continue. And he got really to a physical disaster. He had 19 kgs too much, high cholesterol. He had serious breathing problem by sleeping, that he needed a machine to be connected when he sleeps to get oxygen.
You know, this kind of looking like Darth Vader in the night.
And over the years, he got also high blood pressure, and he really took many years every day medication. Now he suffered a lot from the side effects of the medication. It really strained his system, and he really had slowly and goally enough. So what did we do to help him? First of all, in his case, we really started with the food, and we wanted to release the system and relax the system and help him, first of all, to lose weight. So he became lighter, and only then he was able to start exercising again. So we really instructed him about the right foods for him and how to choose them. And then we introduced a new daily routine for him with exercises. And before he stopped training, he really used to love martial arts. So we gave him exercises out of the Kung Fu. And we focused with him on endurance to also burn toxins which are in the body. And we taught him how to instantly get more energy. We used a very special technique which we call micro-orbit. And it's a process where you bundle energy, you collect energy, and then you distribute it in the whole body. And it was very successful in his case.
Now, looking at his results, his weight loss was quite tremendous, and keep in mind, this was not really the focus. So from 100 kg, he dropped to 81, which gave him a lot of lightness and a lot of ability to move around. What was very helpful is the blood pressure got down to normal level, which means he stopped medication, and especially the medication for controlling the blood pressure has severe side effects. So that really was a great release. The other issue, of course, he began to sleep very well, and he doesn't need the machine anymore, which his wife appreciates a lot. She even finds him sexy in the meantime. Again. And the other thing, which of course for moving is very important, is his gout in the big toe healed completely.
So the main question for you is, are you happy the way things are, or do you want to continue suffer if you are in one of these places like we described, or would you like to be the next person we help? So here's our program has 5 steps, and here's what we'll do. The first step is we reset the system, and we really get you back to a place where you feel calm, focused, and full of energy. And then we start developing with you a personal program and adapt the tools to your specific needs. So we develop with you and for you the specific tools you need. This is the second step. The third step is that we work on your nutrition. The fourth step is that we help you to really find your priorities and boundaries, create your inner strength, your place, your center. And then we help you to integrate all of this in your daily life to become, like we wrote, the master of your environment.
Now, this program is not for everybody. It's specifically not for people who don't want to change. And of course, it's very important to work with us together to have some kind of willingness to follow our guidance. So, of course, if you don't want to change, if you just want to try around, that program is not for you. However, it is perfect for business people, project managers, entrepreneurs, middle management, board members, generally speaking, everybody who feels under a lot of pressure, who has to handle a lot of tasks and feels that his health is not in the best situation and maybe even his performance might suffer. Maybe now maybe later, which means people who feel overwhelmed, always tired, constantly on the run. We had quite a few people which tried medication, experienced the side effect, and decided only after that to come to us and try successfully a very natural way of dealing with things. More importantly, you should be in the position that you understood that you have to take the responsibility of the current situation and take it to the place together with us where you want to go. Now, our coaching program, the code of conduct is we only work with maximum 10 people at a time, which means a very small group, so we really have the ability to go into every single detail needed to be able to help and design the program for you. We're offering a deep and very intensive personal work with Noah and myself. We have a very private one-to-one membership. We guide you on a weekly basis, so to see where did you manage, where did you fail, how can we still help you. Which means we are talking about a high-end program which is a substantial return on investment. Over and above everything, should always remember the things which you are going to learn are not only for the problem situation you might face now. Basically, this is for a lifetime. We learn so many things, how to run the business, how to store knowledge, how to do the schedule, and so on and so forth. We learn very little, really, how to bring us in the best shape possible, helping you to find a new and a better way of life. Ready to get started? So let's get clarity now. Let's talk. Let's work together. Get clear and calm. Develop physical strength and energy. Calm, physicality, and energy. These are three very important issues which they belong together. They cannot be separated from each other to be, by the end of the story, regaining efficiency and confidence. It's so simple to get back to your A game. Sometimes you will be surprised how simple the tools are and how good the effect is. So think of what will be the cost of not acting now. Now it's the time. We are at the end of our examples and presentations. So if you have any questions you would like to ask, let's go ahead. Let's race. Here we have a question from Leo. Thank you, Leo, for your contribution. So Leo suffers from heavy overweight. So he's asking basically, will he be able to do the program at all? So Leo, from our point of view, we've seen a very, very nice example, just the last of the three of us, of the third example, where we've seen through the right food an amazing contribution can be done to get right back to your normal weight. It might take a little bit of time, but you will feel that first of all, the combination of the right food and in the beginning, very soft, very easy physical exercises will do the job for you, and from there on it's like domino. One points to the other.
So while we are waiting for the other questions, we are just sending you now the link to the application form to talk to us privately, so you can raise your specific situation with us. We can tell you if we can help, what can be done, where can you get help, and we have just a limited amount of spots for these free consulting talks. So if you can use one, use this chance now and take your spot, and let us see if we can help you. When you reach the form, please fill it up, and we will be in touch in the next couple of days to schedule a call with you in a time which is convenient for you and for us. So I just see there is another question, Ralph, so maybe you can.
So the next question is Amir, and basically he wants to know, when do I see results? Now our program is over 3 months, and depending on where you're standing with your problems, might it be mental, might it be physical, I can assure you that within the first 4 weeks you will have a tremendous change. We had people with very specific problems, back pains, joint pains, which within days they felt through the exercises we showed them and trained together how much can be done and how easily things going to go in a better way.
So if the best would be just to really to click on the link and go on the formula and fill your details, and we will get in touch and hop on the phone and see what we can do. If you don't manage to use this link, somebody here writes that he cannot use the link, you can just send the email to us to info strudel at anandao.com. Info at anandao.com. So we really will be happy to talk to you.
Over and above that, it would be great if you have any remarks to our webinar, any kind of suggestions, what you were missing or what you need over and above what we presented. We'll always be grateful for any kind of feedback. So we are at the end of our session. Thank you very much. So good night to Greece, Luxembourg, and to Israel. Thank you for the contribution, and hope it was successful and gave you some more insights on what to look at specifically and what might be doing the job for you. Thank you very much, and good night.